Okay, we're all set. Call the meeting to order. So I'll stand and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. It's on, is it now? Pardon me? It was on. Robert Bent. Robert, he's with us via teleconference. Robert? Well, he's present via tele. Michelle DeBellis?
Present.
Ralph DeChico? Enza Goodwin?
Present.
Paul Mazzone? Absent. And me, David Hassel.
Yeah.
Robert, he's with us via teleconference.
Robert? Yeah.
Paul's here?
No, Robert.
Oh.
Present.
Okay, Robert's here, and I'm here.
So, Bella? No.
Okay. So, item number 1 under old business, continuation of updates and discussion from December's meeting. Sorry, I thought it was on. Ralph, item number 1, do you want to take care of that continuation of biz updates?
That's not on the agenda for me to read, so I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I thought you would take care of that. We talked about that. Sorry about that. Thank you. Item number 2, Enz is going to make a report on the drop-in, stay-in, play group.
So a couple items to report. We had our December party for children with special needs, and it was a big success. We had about 25 children and their families attend, and children enjoyed crafts, movement activities, and a special visit from Santa. And we are continuing our drop-and-stay play group, which runs on Monday nights from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Revere Recreation. If you would like more information about it, please see our Facebook page under Drop-and-Stay Playgroup for more information.
Thank you, Enza. First off, thank you very much also for all the work you guys do. You're really pretty much the unsung heroes of the city of Revere. Appreciate all the work you do. Let's see. So you did number 3. You also did the drop and stay? Yeah. Okay, great. Number 4, Ralph is going to do the report on the survey we're going to do, which is going to be included with the city census. Ralph?
I'll actually just read it from my notes, if that's okay. The City of Revere Commission on Disabilities Accessibility Survey and Letter update. The survey letter was completed and will be going out with the Election Department census mailer in both English and Spanish. I spoke to Diane Colella today, and we should have a definite date, hopefully by tomorrow. It should be sometime by the end of next week that will be going out. She was just waiting for a definite date from the company to do the mailer, but they're all stuffed and ready to go out. I also have the letter and the completed survey now linked on our disabilities page on revere.org's website. It's right on the front page, nice bold with all the instructions. It's in English and Spanish, so people will know how to get that letter. They can download the letter right from the website. And I also have copies of it already all set in the mayor's office. and I have copies of it in the disability office where they can pick up on Fridays when we have our office hours. And like we have right on the survey, if anybody needs any help with completing that, they can call our disabilities number, and we will be able to either find someone to assist with them, or they can come into the office on Fridays and we will be able to assist them. Our office number is 781-286-8267. We are open on Fridays from 8:30 to 12:15. During the rest of the week, they will get a 311 call taker, and if they do need assistance with that, they will transfer them to the voicemail, where I will get back to them and set up an appointment for them to come in, or we could find out other ways. I could also possibly print out a copy of it and do it over the telephone with them if they would prefer doing that. The other thing that I had stated on is this accessibility survey is going to also act as an intake for us, so that we can see what disability constituents we have in the community, since one has not been done possibly within at least 5 years that I know of. So this way we will be able to go out there for funding and know what type of programs we do need for disabled residents, young or old, in the city of Revere. That's a need that has not been in fruition for a while. It's twofold. It's an accessibility survey to see how people are getting around in the city, what their needs are, and what we have for the disability community within the city of Revere. The other thing is, it also explains how the mailing, where they can send it back. They can mail it back, or they can drop it off to either the mayor's office. I have talked to the mayor's staff, and they know that they will hold it for me and let me know when they come in. I did receive one the first day that I put it out. Somebody did come into the office on the first Friday, actually before the first, because I had them done ahead of time and already filled out. So I got one right away. Before the mailer went out with the census, because they had seen that I was creating it right there in the office. So that's a good sign. So hopefully it will spearhead to what we all want to happen.
You all set?
That's it.
Thank you, Ralph. Item number 6 is a communication from the Massachusetts Office on Disabilities. Ralph is going to make a report on that.
We skipped number 5.
That's number 5, Ralph. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Again, I'll take this from my notes. My notes, I was contacted by Jeffrey Dougan, who's the Assistant Director of Community Services at the Massachusetts Office on Disability, and he had asked if Revere would like to host the Spring Metro Regional Commission on Disabilities meeting. And they would supply all the materials and food. All we would need to do is supply a location, like I had stated in an email to all the commission members and to the administration. I think this would be a great opportunity for us and allow us to introduce ourselves to the neighboring COD Administrators and Directors. He had mentioned 2 dates to start off with to see if we would be able to accommodate a meeting, and they were Tuesday, May 1st and Thursday, May 10th. The time frame they need is 3 hours for the meeting, with the start time commencing late morning. I had sent that over to the mayor's office so that they can discuss it on if it's feasible that we can do it. And once I hear back, then I will reach back out to Mr. Dougan at the Mass Commission on Disabilities office, and then we can take it to the next step from there. And 2 locations that I was looking at was here in the council chambers, and the second location is the Legion Hall. So we'll just have to see if the dates are accommodable and the locations are accommodable for us to go ahead and host that. And it's roughly the amount of people that would be attending, he says roughly 40 to 50 people would be attending that. like I said, is into the mayor's office. This would help put the Revere's Commission on Disabilities back on the map, that we are a full-fledged Commission on Disabilities, that we are active in the community and trying to reach out to all our disabled residents in the city, and also be able to reach out to the neighboring Commission on Disabilities in the neighboring communities, so that we could actively participate with them and have joint ventures with them.
Thank you, Ralph. That's really a great opportunity. I know I was able to go to that meeting last year when it was held in the spring in Brookline. I was the only one from the city of Revere who went there. That's when I met Jeff Dougan, and we had a really good time. It's a really good opportunity for us to network with the other commissions. As a matter of fact, it was the first time that the city of Revere had been represented at anything. Last time Jeff Dougan had heard from anyone from the city of Revere was when he'd heard from Stephen Rich and Cindy Tatelman. It had been that long ago, so it's a really good opportunity for us to reintroduce ourselves to the Mass Office on Disabilities. So I really applaud you for doing that. And I look forward to us being able to host the meeting, and it'll be a great event for us to do. Thank you very much again. Also, now we'll move on to item number 7. Unfortunately, I made an error on the agenda, and I listed it again as item number 7, as item number 6, but it should be listed as item number 7. And that's a correspondence from the Boston Commission for Persons on Disabilities. Ralph is going to make a report on that. Thank you.
David, I think we're missing number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I did that too. Sorry. Robert, that's the correspondence you sent in. You wanted to speak about a proposal you'd like to make to us? Robert? Gee. Robert? Did you lose him out? Thanks, Michelle.
Yes, basically what I want to do is I want to try to get something similar to the safe set. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
I can't hear.
To the Safe Saturday, so that we can do something for the youth, the disabled youth of Revere. We can hear you. Hello? Yeah, basically what I want to do, what I'm trying to do is I want to try to get something done for the disabled youth of Revere, so like something similar to what Safe Saturdays is, but for the, you know, whether it's
Just for the edification of the public, he's just streaming this because he's temporarily in the hospital, and there's a 30-second delay on the streaming. That's why we're just having a little difficult.
What the hell? Yeah, hey guys, I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that, but yeah, basically what I want to do is I want to try to get something started for the disabled youth of Revere, so that we can something similar to what they're doing with the Safe Saturdays, but like arts and crafts, sports, maybe a movie night, bowling, whatever, and just try to get the kids more active in the community as disabled children.
So basically, Robert, what you're looking to do is basically almost like how they do with the teenagers that Wayne Rose has done with the night out, the Saturday night out, to trying to basically do it with the disabled students, residents of the community from ages 3 to whatever, try and have something that we could incorporate with them, for like arts and crafts classes, and try and bring them all together in a safe environment, and have volunteers with maybe some of the high school students that have reached out that want to assist with the Commission on Disabilities. And possibly, I know you were trying to reach out to the Boston Bruins, the Celtics, to try and get tickets, but since that hasn't come to fruition yet, your next step is possibly trying to establish something to this nature. And I know you had it's a work in progress, so you just wanted to make preliminary discussion on this tonight, because we have had talks on this the past few days. So if I'm correct in what you wanted to do, I just wanted to make sure that's what your intentions are, because you wanted this to be out there tonight at the meeting, that this is what you're looking to do. And that if anybody has any suggestions or ideas to help assist with this, to please reach out to us via email. They can contact you at rbent@revere.org. That anybody has any ideas to help assist with this, because we are going to be looking for volunteers, and we are going to be trying to apply for a mini grant that's due by the end of the week, myself and you. And what I'll do is I'll put you on the speaker so that you could continue saying if that's correct in what you're looking to do. All set.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Is something to basically, like you just said, something that the same thing Wayne Rose is doing, something to get these disabled children more active into the community, so that they can, feel like they're part of the community too.
Does anybody have any questions or suggestions? While I have him, I'll take him off a speaker, and then I could bounce it back and forth, or this way we can keep him in communication, because he does have a delay. He has the speaker off right now, but I can reiterate if he can't hear anything.
So Robert, I think it's definitely a great idea, especially if there's a grant opportunity available. This is much of what we've been kind of working on over the past year, Jen Dougan and myself. And we actually have been working closely with Peter Del Greco from CPAC and with Dr. Vidala through Revere Public Schools to establish some of these programs. So if there is a grant opportunity connected to it, that would be even better. We already have a connection with Revere High School in terms of getting high school volunteers who need community service hours. So a lot of this stuff has already been established over the past year. So now if we can go out and get some money to support it, it would be even better.
You can speak on that if you want.
I really couldn't hear her. I heard some of it.
What she's basically was saying, that we do have, she's been working on it with Jen Dougan with the Revere School Department on establishing that for the past year, and they do have high school students that need community service that they've been using towards the Special Olympics and using CPAC. So she thinks it's a great idea, and we're willing to work on trying to get that established.
Great. That's awesome. Thanks, Enza. Yeah, I've been sitting here. Me and Ralph actually had a meeting, and Jen Dougan was actually in the meeting a couple of weeks ago, and that's where I kind of got it, because she kept saying how the kids don't really have a lot to do, and the parents have to take control of everything, and when they do stuff, and that's kind of where this idea came from. That whole thought of, let's try to do something that the parents don't necessarily have to run. Somebody else can run it and can get these kids activated into the city that way.
Michelle's going to ask a couple of questions. I'll keep it on speaker, and then if we can't hear it, I could reiterate it.
Okay.
Hi, Robert. I think that it is another wonderful idea, and it's something that I think all of us would be involved with. So any help that you need or anything I can do, once you get it up and running or have some more ideas or the grant goes through, please just let me know. I'd love to help with that.
You able to hear her?
No.
She's, okay, she's basically saying she thinks it's a great idea, and she's willing to help. If there's anything that you need, to please let her know.
Okay, awesome.
Anybody else? And just to let you know, the mini grants they are very small. So, and
Yeah.
it does not pay for staffing, it pays for supplies and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
I will be working on it with Robert, to get that done, because the deadline is Friday. So we'll try and see if we can come up with at least trying to get some art supplies. I talked to Nick briefly and Brian this morning, like we did last night on the telephone, and told him that this was one of Robert's initiatives that he wanted to do. I know he was working on a whole presentation for tonight, but unfortunately, it came down, but he didn't want to try and put this off until next month, because we know we were going to try and get the grant, so we wanted the community to know about it. Okay, Robert? I'll leave you,
Yes, thank you.
okay, thanks.
Okay, and the final item on the agenda is the correspondence from Jessica Dougan, who's the Chief of Staff from the City of Boston Mayor's Commission on Persons with Disabilities. Ralph, would you discuss that, please?
Okay, recently I was put in touch with Colin Killick via an email introduction from Jessica Dunnan, who's the Chief of Staff for the City of Boston Mayor's Commission for Persons with Disabilities. How it came about with meeting her is she had contacted me wanting to sit down with me and talk to me about the Suffolk Downs project, wanting to make sure that we are in conjunction talking about the same things and making sure that that whole project, when it does come to fruition, that we have safe streets and make sure that it is, I brought this up at the last meeting for the safe streets, and make sure that we make sure there's accommodations for all people with disabilities. Robert touched on it briefly, that we had a meeting with Ellie Baker, Jen Dougan, and a few other people. And my goal is, my main goal is, wouldn't it be wonderful if Revere could be one of the first communities in the surrounding area that had a playground that was fully children with disabilities, fully accessible. So my idea, and I'm going to be talking with Jessica when we do talk to Suffolk Downs, is because they're going to have a lot of open space there. Because Revere, we know we don't have the funding for something like that. Is there a way, a will in a way, if I had a wish, that the developers of Suffolk Downs, could they create a park like that right in the middle of the border of Boston and Revere in that development? That is one of my goals, and I'm sure it will possibly be Jessica's goal when we can sit down and talk to them, among other things that we would do. I found, it was funny, about a week ago, there is a company out there that has a fully ADA compliant park that they make the equipment for. And I know Ellie Baker said she got some things on it, but it's very, very expensive, and you need the financial backers of someone like a developer that's doing Suffolk Downs. So the best place to bring this to fruition and talk about it is at our meeting. So hopefully people will hear this and help bring this to fruition for both Revere, Boston, and East Boston, where this development is going to take place right there in the middle of all three of the communities there. But to further elaborate on who she put me in touch with was Colin Killick, who runs the CODA, which stands for Commission on Disabilities Alliance, which basically is it's an alliance of a lot of disability commissions in the region, that they have monthly phone calls, that they meet. I believe this month it was the first Wednesday of the month, and luckily I got he contacted me the morning, last Wednesday morning, and let me know that the call was at 1 o'clock, and I was able to get on it. And they meet once a month. The agenda was for that month was how they had it was announcements. They wanted to discuss. Boston had created a accessibility survey similar to ours, and I had looked at theirs. I looked at surrounding communities, and a lot of the commissions are now going to be trying to take that model and create one. And we luckily had jumped on doing it ahead of time, so it was really good. The other thing that they were talking about was updates on variance training ideas and advocacy guidelines. So this group is a great resource for disability commissions. It's almost like a think tank for all disability commissions, that we will rely on each other to assist and to help networking between ourselves. What I had asked Colin to do, and what he's going to be doing, is he's going to be sending me the notes and the agendas for the past year, so that I can see what they have been discussing for the past year and what's on the agenda. One thing that they are going to be working on for this upcoming year, because they set goals for 2018, is they're going to try and create a website for this group with all the resources in one place. And then they're going to ask for different commissions for how we have Mystic Valley on it and our resources, so that everything will go on to one resource page for all the different commissions, so that we don't have to call different agencies. Everything will be in one place for all of us. So it'd be a great resource. So I was very, very happy that I was introduced to this group by Jessica, and I will be on those calls monthly. And like I said, this is going to be extremely beneficial to all of us on this commission.
That's great, Ralph. Thank you very much. That's really exciting. I like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. I guess, does anyone have any announcements or comments or anything else they'd like to add? There's no one here in the audience for anything.
David, if it's okay, a couple late items. Our CPAC meeting will be taking place next Wednesday, the 17th, at 6 o'clock. And also on March 3rd, Special Olympics will be having its polar plunge at Revere Beach. We had some people participate last year. Councilor Keefe was a part of it, as well as a few other members of the community. And any money that we raise on that polar plunge, as long as we indicate we want it to go back to Revere, we get that money back towards our Special Olympics program. So it's still pretty early, but the reason for it is if you want to register, if we can somehow get a team together, it would be great if we could kind of have a united front on this, to get a group of plungers to go in the water. We don't have to go in. I know I didn't go in last year, but I took lots of pictures and cheered everyone on, and I'd be happy to do that again this year. So if you'd like more information, you can email us directly at the Disabilities email, or you can look on Special Olympics website, and more information is available there.
Okay, that sounds great. Maybe I'll take a dive. Okay. Anyone else have anything else? Okay, well, I guess with that, we'll anyone want to make a motion to adjourn? Next meeting will be we meet on the first Tuesday of every month, so that would be next date would that be? Does anyone have a calendar?
13th, the second
Pardon me?
Tuesday.
It's not the first Tuesday?
No, the second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday, sorry.
So 13th,
Second Tuesday, so that would be
the 13th.
the 13th. So we're all set, so then it would be February 13th at 6 o'clock. Set, so then can we have a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Okay,